All right, here we are in downtown Garland, Texas. It's obviously under construction, but I just want to show you, well, my point in Texas. So right there is Intrinsic. They've got some barbecue going on in there. And in Texas, there's a theory about barbecue. People will go, what's the best barbecue in town? And there's really only one thing to say about that. Texas has two kinds of barbecue, good and bad. That is good. I'm not endorsing it, I'm just saying, just to give you an example of what barbecue is like. And then to put that into perspective with cars, there are two types of sports cars, good and bad. As you see, there's like a NA Miata right in there. I see a little guy that looks like a 5 Series BMW. And you can say what you will about sports cars, but really the car is either good or bad. So today, let's take a look at today's sports car. Let me just walk on over there. No, that's not it. Just kidding. This is just from the other side, just to let you know. No comment on what that sign is. What does that term mean anyway on TikTok? I can't figure it out. Oh, here we go. Now that is a sports car. Is it a good sports car? Yes. That is the 2022 Toyota GR86. It's basically a sister vehicle to the, what is it called? Scion. No. The Subaru. But look at it from the back, it's been updated. I think it has NSX taillights, a Supra spoiler, and somehow it looks like an Aston Martin. It's really cool, and you can see it's on Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires. It's got the black wheels and suede on the door sill, suede seats. Well, not suede, microfiber, some kind of fiber. It's just a really good looking car, and manual. And that's really the secret recipe for a good sports car. Cheap, although it's not cheap, but inexpensive, rear-wheel drive, and no frills. Basically as simple as it gets. And this does have power windows, which is actually kind of a shock. No power seats. And if we get in, barely anywhere to put your phone, which is okay. We have cup holders, we have USB, and a glove box. But there's no wireless charging, there's no radar cruise. We do have cruise control, but not radar. And that cup holder in the door is where I put my phone when I'm not using it. It's actually pretty convenient. Foot on the clutch. There we go, let it roar to life. 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, inline 4, not the Subaru engine. This is a Toyota engine. And let me just put my wallet in here. There we go. All right. Auto climate control, which is nice to have. And the first thing I noticed was mode. You don't need mode. That is actually an air conditioning mode button. There's no drive mode in here, and that's the beauty of having a manual. Let's just turn that off so you can hear me better. Roll the windows down. Auto up and down on the windows. Nice big air vents. No sunroof, but that's okay. So we have heated seats, which is cool, and then a traction off button and a traction off and track, and then traction off. So when you do traction, or when you do track mode, you get a different display there, and there's no difference in exhaust. There's probably a little bit difference on the throttle mapping, but you'll see here the power band of the engine, the torque and the horsepower. And so at about 3,000 RPM, you see it just starts to level off, and that makes this car very fun to drive. About 224 horsepower, about 15 grand less than the 2-liter 4-cylinder Supra. I'm just trying to get my seatbelt on. Come on. It's hard to do with greasy barbecue hands, but that's all right. We are in Garland, of course. Somewhere around here is where King of the Hill lives. So, manual brake, lift this ring up, put it in reverse. We have a backup camera. Very simple car to drive. But what I noticed is the clutch is made for very crisp gear changes. And you can make those gear changes. You have to, actually, because look at that red line, 7,500 RPM. That is serious. So, do I like this car? Yes. Am I in love with it? No. I still have a beck and call affinity love for the 3-liter Supra, and that is okay. It just shows how much Toyota can collaborate with other manufacturers, because obviously BMW and Toyota make the Supra and the Z4 together, and then Subaru and Toyota make the 86/BRZ together. And so my point here is, Toyota for a while has been very beige, very bland, very old man, and very khaki pants. But now you got the Supra, you've got the Tundra, you've got this updated 86 with more power, and I haven't driven the previous version, which I almost call the previous gen, even though, you know, it's still kind of the same car, but with more power and better looks. Now, it's hard to film this and hold a camera while changing gears, so please bear with me on that. But what I do want to note is that when you are trying to get a Hoonigan on this car, even though it's only a certain amount of horsepower, because it has rear-wheel drive and because it has Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires, you can still actually have a little fun with it. So we're going to get to a spot where I can do that. I have perfected right turns with this thing. And of course, now that I say that, I'll probably curse myself. And I have no idea where I am because, well, this is Garland, and I don't spend much time here. I've only been here twice. But this is my point. Let's roll the windows up so you can hear me. Turn the AC on so I don't... let's go down here. Okay. So the AC is nice. It doesn't have remote start that I know of. It's a manual, so that would be kind of impossible anyway. And just in general, you can tell there's a lot of road noise. It's a really rough ride, but I don't care. Of course, there's always going to be something smoother, and basically if I drive faster, it goes smoother. But I'm not here to tell you that this is like the ultimate car. I'm just saying, just like Texas barbecue, sports cars are the same way. It's either good or bad, and this is good. Torque is good. It's on tap. I hardly have to downshift for any needs. You know, passing power is aplenty, and with that red line limit of 7,500, you can definitely ring this thing out, and that's the best part. This thing loves that. Let's say no hand gear shift there. Yep, sounds good. So I don't need an exhaust button. I might want more like sporty exhaust kind of muffler or lack thereof, but I don't think it needs turbo and boost and all that stuff. If you drive it properly, and you can because it's a manual, I don't know if I can do it here with this rough road. I still got it. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so yes, there's a ton of fun to be had in this car. Yes, it is only a 4-cylinder, but it sounds good, and this is definitely a sports car for a beginner. It's someone who definitely is confident in their driving, and someone who knows that they can use or leverage the limited slip or diff and the manual transmission and get it in the right gear and drive properly. That's what this is about. So I missed that left turn completely because I actually want to go straight left over there. Anyway, if you are 16, this car will definitely be a handful for you. And if you're looking for a Supra and can't find one, this is definitely a good alternative for you. And it's obviously cheaper, so from that perspective, you're not missing out. But what I think is going to happen is, let me just make a U-turn. It's much better. Oh, it says no U-turn. How funny is that? And if you try and shift smoothly, you really can't, because this clutch just likes to be dumped. Of course, this car only has 1,200 miles on it, so it is still quite tight. Everything on here is tight and fresh, and it's hard to It's hard to be smooth with a brand new car. It's just impossible. Plus, with one hand, it's even more tricky. But let me just turn around in here. I have no idea where I am. Garland is kind of scary in a rednecky kind of way. All right, so let's go this way. I think that's King of the Hills fence right there. I can't tell. Tell you what. Damn it, Bobby. You gotta push the clutch in first. Anyway, this car I would put on my list if I was looking for a sports car and had a limited amount of money. I would also say that I've never seen a 4Runner rolling coal before. Oh, it's just a smoker barbecue trailer. Yeah, I mean, if you drive this thing for like 2 or 3 days, you'll definitely get used to the clutch. The first day, it's really hard because the pickup point's different, but every car's got a different clutch, so it's gonna be the same way. It's like girlfriends. And the visibility is pretty good, except for right there when you gotta change lanes, but that's okay because you have blind spot monitoring in the inside of the mirror housings, so that's cool. And basically, yeah, I approve. If you're looking for a sports car, you're young, or even if you're a YouTuber looking for a project car, it seems like a lot of YouTube channels have purchased their own 86, and I totally understand why. It feels very flat, it corners very well. There's a lot of balance here where you can easily step out, even with these Michelin Pilot Sport tires, which don't make any noise while you're sliding around. Definitely very temperature sensitive and very simple in here, right? The stereo, if you're into stereos, you're definitely going to want to upgrade. I don't have the window sticker here, so I don't even know what this is. I think it's the premium trim level on this 86, but I just have a good time in this car. And what I like doing is rolling the windows down and turning off the AC. It's just the way I roll here. You got the Alcantara suede microfiber up here too, which makes it really cool. It's just a nice car for the money. It's less than 30 grand. See, there's my blind spot. When someone's coming up on my rear, it'll tell me. So it's a really good advanced blind spot. It's not like, oh, there's someone here lagging in your mirror. It's like, oh, hey, someone's passing. And that's kind of good to know, especially on a track when you're going to be doing some track driving, or if you even get to that point. One thing I would definitely want is a convertible version, because it just feels like this car feels naturally, it feels like a natural born convertible. And that's the beauty too of rear-wheel drive. When you're shifting gears like this, there's no torque steer because there's no power being driven to the front wheels, and there's just a good amount of refinement in this car. That's all I have to say. No buttons, no gimmicks. I really can't tell you. There's no gimmick here except for maybe this display. But then again, it's like if you wanted more gimmicks, then you shouldn't be buying a Toyota. So there you go. Drives well, very snappy, tight feeling car. It should be on the top of your list for like an affordable sports car, or at least a manual rear-wheel drive car. I know it's like par for the course. Like people go, hey, you know, it needs more. It needs something else. It needs this. It needs that. And you know what? A couple years ago, a lot of bloggers and influencers and people were bitching about cars that weren't simple. Like, I just want lightweight, rear-wheel drive, and a manual. And here it is. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian with New Car Spin. We got more videos on the way. And yeah, I'm gonna get busy getting home. So see ya. One thing I forgot to mention is that when you do a G-check on this car, you're gonna lose. It's right here. That kind of sounds like oink oink. Oh crap. That was close.